welcome to another cost of living crisis video. Welcome, Will.
Thank you, Jack.
We are starting to drill down specifically into individual topics, which we will cover individually through these videos week to week. Maybe that's just telling you what we can do to support you if you're in need, or advice, or just general chat about what people think isn't a problem, what is a problem, what could be coming up. This week in particular, Will, we are going to look at essentially heating. And mainly due to the fact that I've had 3 emails and 2 phone calls this week alone, and we're filming this on a Tuesday, around the stigma that's there of people saying, look, I usually can cope. It's getting warmer, but it's gone cold a couple of days ago. My bills have shot up, they've doubled. I really need to ask for help and I feel bad. And we've used this example a lot, but we wanted to, in this video, just describe what we can do to support you in that situation. So Will, when somebody, this seems a bit backwards to ask you, but when somebody emails me or phones me, or House of Bread in general, what happens then? What can we do for those people?
Yeah, the first thing is when you go to pick up that phone, it's really important that if you need to make that phone call, you phone. You phone us and you reach out to us. We're going to try and support you in either encouragement, practical ideas, support around just affirming that the thing they're worried about is a thing. And I sense that sometimes people say, well, I'll just put another jumper on, or I'll just do something. It's not okay to be cold in your house. Let's just put it like that. It's not okay to not have enough food. It's not okay to have the anxiety and worry about trying to cope. And I suppose part of that original conversation is to say, we recognise there's a problem here, and together we'll work out some ways that we can help you. It's as simple as that. But it's not okay if you're not okay. I want to make that completely out there right at the beginning. And if you're sitting there thinking, shall I make the call, whomever it is to, whether it's to us or an agency, make that call. Do not be sitting there freezing cold, not eating, not sleeping, and not making those critical thinking processes we all need to do to run our lives.
And okay is relevant to people. Somebody might be able to be okay in themselves in one environment. You might be very, very different. I know that I'm much more at home in a colder environment than my wife, for example, who is always reaching for the heating, be it the middle of summer. And I guess what we do initially, Will, is we reassure people that it's okay that they've asked for help.
And that is critical, because one of the things that we all suffer from is being too proud to ask for help. Everybody is going through difficulties at the moment. It doesn't matter where you are in society, whether it's a health issue, a mental health issue, or the cost of living in terms of your heating. It's going to affect people differently. So whether you're in a small little house, a flat, or a flipping castle, there are implications for us all. It's about basically saying you're not alone. I think that's the first critical thing. The second is that there is support. It might be that we can help you through to that support, and that support might be it could be anything. I just go back to making that call is so critical. What really worries us is that we are getting more and more calls. How many people are not making those calls? And if you know somebody, encourage them. You be the person who is the encourager. Make them think about making that call and doing something to help.
And when you call, we will provide that reassurance, but we can help on a range of levels. So we don't do loans for electricity costs or whatever, but we do food support.
Yes.
So that means you have more of a pocket of money to spend on that. But we also have friends in Citizens Advice. We also have caseworkers, essentially who you would talk to when you come to Cafe 43, or they will call you to chat to you about, are you on the cheapest tariff? Is there things is there other things in your life that are draining money that don't need to be draining that money? So it's a real, I'm going to say it here, holistic approach. I can't believe I've just said that. Stop you from saying it 500 times. We don't just go, hey, look, you're struggling this week, this month, there's some support. You've got to do better next month. You can keep coming back as often as you need, Will.
The other thing as well is when you start talking to somebody and they start perhaps reflecting back on things, you might be in a position to go, actually, I think I could do this, or maybe I could make some changes here. So really it's about empowering you. So yeah, absolutely come on a journey with us, and we can put your hand on the door handle. You're going to have to push through, and the encouragement might be the cup of coffee or the food bag or whatever it might be at Cafe 43, or a telephone call. It will make a difference, and that is really crucial. It sounds so tiny, but it's just reassuring you that there's a warm and soft voice at the other end that says, yeah, we'll help you out.
We're here to help.
What are the things that we can quickly fix or make things more sustainable in the long term? Because there's no point in us just fixing it quickly. It's about trying to make sure you can live your life successfully and okay on a more consistent basis, rather than just going from crisis to crisis, and that's critical.
And that's a perfect example of what I was going to say next. Is if there's more than one problem, let us know everything. We're not somebody who'll say, we can only fix this thing, we can only help with this thing, we can only not fix this thing. We will try and help with everything. And it's really important, like Will said, we're here to support you while you're going through what you're going through, but we will also support you to try and make that easier, or alleviate any stress about it happening in the future, or just being here so when something happens again, because stuff happens to all of us all of the time, you've got somewhere to come back to.
You don't feel alone. I think that's critical. From a lot of the social isolation that we've been talking to people about, people feel alone. They feel oppressed by what's happening, and we can break that vicious circle.
You didn't do it.
Didn't do that.
Wonderful. Right. Thank you, Will, for joining me. I hope there is some residue of help in there.
Encouragement.
But do get in touch. Don't try and cope. If you're struggling, get in touch, ask what we can provide, and we will do as little or as much as you want or need. Like I say every week, please do like and share, but these videos do make a difference. If somebody's sitting there worrying and just scrolling through their Facebook feed and think, look, there's a charity, I'm not near them, but maybe I'll go to one that's near me. It really does help. But that only is helpful because of you guys watching. So thank you very much as ever for watching. We shall see you next time. Goodbye.